Ladies and
Well, I don't sell ass, so I don't do that. I don't do that. But anything else?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Anything But That podcast. Years in the making. I am one of your co-hosts, John Singletary. So many things to help myself podcast, to help myself network. I'm a retired Air Force guy, and I'm big brother to my co-host. And I think that's one of my most important roles, because she's the type of sister that she's going to drag you along for the ride. So you just got to be prepared. And with that, pass it on over to my co-host, Sierra.
Hey, y'all. Hey. Sierra Parker here. I am the co-host of my big brother. This has been long overdue. Listen, we are about to have an amazing time with y'all. I have so much to share. We have so much to share. We have conversations all the time about all the things, sharing a woman's perspective, a man's perspective. And so it's just time. So
we do have the conversations about all the things.
We do all the things. Okay. So it is time to open the platform up to the people and share with you guys. We want to know what your thoughts are. We want to share with you. We are by no means experts on probably any of the things that we're talking about. If we're talking about,
but we're going to talk about them anyway.
But you know, when it comes to humans, there's so many factors. But nonetheless, I'm excited. I'm the CEO and founder of I Am Sierra Parker, the brand LLC, which is the umbrella brand to C-Lux Brows, K. Simone's Boutique, Queening in My Purpose nonprofit organization, and now Concrete Rose consulting firm. So keep an eye out on that, dropping soon. So super excited to be here with you. This is going to be a great time.
It's going to be a great time, and it's been years in the making. When did you, I met Sierra. When did you first come over to Resurrection?
I was 5.
Oh, okay. So I came over. I was the intruder, because when I got there, you were 16, I believe.
Yeah. I was at Resurrection since I was 5. We were still over in Shirts, across the street from the park. Mm-hmm. Long time.
Yeah, so I came over there. and Sierra was a youngster, and you know, we moved on from time to time, and we Facebook friends, and I'm just like, so I'm gonna be honest with you. I never told you this story. I had a moment where I was like, "Is that Sierra?" And then, you know, I was looking at all this stuff, and then I was like, "Wait a minute, Sarah, it all got grown up," because I think you had left the college when I left. And man, you had all the things going on, Queening in My Purpose, and I was just amazed. So I had you on my podcast. The first one was awesome. Everybody just talked about your energy and how you came on there, and you just changed the whole trajectory of the season. I was lost. I wasn't sure how I wanted to do it. You came on there, but we are here today because the second time I had you on, I said to you, Sierra,
we're gonna bring it up. We're gonna talk about that. Are we really gonna talk about that?
That is why we are here at the Anything But That. I said, Sierra, what do you not do? And Sierra said, well, I don't sell ads.
Listen, you know, I call a thing. That's something I do not do. But John's my boy. We have a good time. Y'all know me. If you know me, you know.
Oh, yeah. No, she real. Like, if she said it in person, on social media, on a phone call, through an email, she stand by it and she deliver it the same way every time.
Every time.
Yeah, 100%. So 100%. And that's why this is going to be a lot of fun, because we're going to talk about the stuff that y'all want to hear, and we're going to talk about the stuff that we want to talk about. You know, authentic friendships. I think that we are two people that can really add some serious elements to that. You know, we want to talk about the dynamic between men and women. It's masculinity and femininity and courting and dating and all of that. And I should probably leave that courting and dating to Sierra, because she is much better at it than I am. She's not laughing, but it's funny to me. So
I think I lost you for a second. Did I freeze?
You froze.
Am I back?
You're back with a slight delay, but you're back.
Okay.
Now you're frozen again.
All right, you're gonna have to obviously edit that. So yep. I'm gonna exit out of the studio, and I'm just gonna come back to my phone so we can get in there. I will figure out that I will plug in after moving forward from my computer.
And we're gonna talk about the masculine and feminine, men and women, dating and relationships, all that good stuff. Even though I think that I should probably leave talking about relationships to Sierra, because she's much better at it than I am.
But am I? No. No. You know, life, right? Life has been lifing, and I am no stranger to the fact that some things work out and some things don't. And I think that there is a way to leave everything. So I'm super excited to dive into a relationship series with you guys, talk through all the things. There's so many intricate parts to a relationship, right? Down to jealousy in a relationship. I mean, down to that, and down to not knowing how to be a supportive spouse, down to gender roles, down to the finances, down to being just an equally yoked partnership, how important that is, how having a partner that knows how to
your partnership, and just all of this stuff.
So I'm really excited to hop into those things.
One of the things that I think in relationships, you have to find a way to shut out some of that outside noise, because the last thing you need is to have people that aren't inside of your relationship telling you how your relationship is supposed to work. You know,
100%.
People with real relationship wisdom, they say, hey, this is something we tried and it worked. They never say this is what you should do. But
correct.
I kind of find that across all disciplines. The people that really know something, they don't tell you stuff and say that you should do what they did. they just talk about their experience, and you always are able to glean nuggets and
Yeah.
jewels out of what
Yes.
they have to say. So
Yes. No, 100%. One of the things too, just in life, right? That can apply in life, because how is someone that um is not walking how they're talking going to tell you about you,
man,
right?
okay,
Coupled with
okay,
the fact, be careful who you allow to whisper in your ear, and be careful who you allow to impact your life. So it's always the bottom feeders in life that have the most judgment and the most advice tell you what you're doing wrong.
right,
Help
because
me understand.
let me tell you something. People that are getting it done, they are never going to be the ones picking at you. It's always somebody on the sideline. Like, I always find it so interesting. Like, Sierra should be doing something amazing, and somebody say, well, you should have did this, 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 and that. And I'd be like, sound like that's something you should be doing in your business. Oh, I forgot you don't have one. So how about you start by minding yours, and then you can tell somebody who's successful how they should run theirs.
100%. And on top of that, I tell people, business for me, entrepreneurship for me, I never do anything or take on a new endeavor that I'm not extremely passionate about. I just don't, because that's a job, and I have a job. So in my private time, my personal time that I spend outside of my 9 to 5, it should not feel like a job. I shouldn't feel like I'm at work. It should be a passion that I am grateful to have the time to explore and to be able to offer a service or whatever that may be. So anything I delve in, it never feels like work. It doesn't. It's absolutely something that I'm passionate about, which is the woman. I am very passionate about enhancing a woman's confidence. I'm passionate about birthing the gifts of just people. So man or woman, you give me a vision, I'm the incubator. Let me help you bring it to life. Right.
Facts.
And so, yeah, that's just what I love to do. And it brings me passion. It brings me happiness. It brings me joy to watch other people's visions and dreams come to life. And so a lot of people enter into things because they think it's a money grab, or they feel like, oh, she's doing it and it's successful, I'm going to do it too. But if it's not your passion, people buy an experience. People buy an experience. And if you're not providing an experience, then it's going to be counterproductive. And then you're going to feel like, man, I got into that and I didn't make no money. Well, you didn't make any money because you got into it for the money. You have no passion behind it.
Right. That's always a bad idea, to try to replicate somebody else's paradigm of success. Because,
Right.
the one thing that we know about success, and that's our unofficial third co-host in any show I'm on, LJ, my son, is going to be a big
Oh, yeah.
part of it.
LJ's coming on to let the people know.
Yeah. But, when you try to copy somebody else's paradigm of success, you never know the ups and downs, what they did to get there, or, what they went through, and the passion part, like, there's a lot of stuff that I do, and it's like, I just love it. And that's why I'm able to navigate the ups and downs. But you get in there and be like, oh, you know what? I'm going to do a podcast because I see John having success. Oh, trust me, it's a rough ride.
It is. I know. I remember when I used to do, if you guys remember, and actually, little sneak peek, we're going to run it back. Tea Time with QIMP. I love getting on and sharing my insights about different topics. Some things people inbox me and, hey, Sierra, can you talk about this or what have you? So me and my best friend, Rochelle, we had Tea Time with QIMP, and it was huge. It was, I mean, we loved it. And it was a live that we did from the platform of QIMP. And I believe we're going to run that back top of 2024. Because that's really just focused on, that's from a lady's perspective, right? 2 ladies sharing. And we talked about all kinds of things. And so I say that to say there are moments where, you get burned out. You experience burnout. And burnout is a real thing. Yeah. And so burnout is a real thing. And so if you're not passionate about it, you'll never return to it. And you'll feel like, it was either a waste of your time or, I'm just tired of doing this, but I never lost the passion for it. And so when I was sharing with John, I guess about maybe a year ago, I was telling him that I was thinking about coming back with my podcast. Yeah. And I just never got to the place where I launched it. And honestly, if I can be real honest with you, that has to do with your partnership too. When you don't have support in your partnership, it makes it difficult for you to take on more.
Be honest with us. Be real honest.
Yeah. And so that was kind of a part of the reason as well. But, life is good. Everything happens for a reason. And I take life as it comes. And I don't hold any bitterness or animosity. Everything's a lesson. And I try to learn from other people's mistakes first. And then, at times we have to learn from our own as well. So that's that.
Yeah, I mean, y'all hear us talking about life. That's what life is, It's figuring out what set of experiences you're going to learn from. And everybody's going to have to learn some from their own.
Mm-hmm.
But as you get smarter, you learn how to leverage the experiences of other people so you can collapse those timelines. So, yeah.
No, absolutely. But I'm really excited for us to dive into our first episode. So again, we just kind of really wanted to hop on today and just kind of really share with you, just kind of give you a feel of who we are, what we're going to be talking about. You can expect anything. Okay? Anything. There may be some days you come up real poised. And there will be some days you be like, man, they were cutting up on anything but that this last episode. So, it's going to be a wide range of things because life throws a wide range of things your way. And I'm excited to share my perspective. John always has really great insight. And so, me, I'm going to tell it like it is. It's not for you to necessarily agree with me. I'm just sharing my perspective, right? You take from that what you want, like John said. But I'm excited to really talk about our first episode and really dive into authentic friendships, having standard in your friendships. Friendships should have a standard. And so I'm really excited to delve into that. And it's going to be a really good time. So I advise you, set your clocks.
Set your clocks.
Be ready. Take a note or two, and then be able to really, and honestly, I anticipate you reassessing some of your connections after that show. I really do, because you should never stay in the same place. You should always be evolving and growing. And sometimes you outgrow some people.
Right. And when a plant outgrows the pot, if you don't put it in a bigger pot, it dies.
It does.
Got to do a little pruning. Got to do a little cutting. And that's part of it. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes you outgrow, and it's nothing personal. It just is what it is.
It is what it is. So I'm excited to talk about that, y'all. I'm really excited to talk about that. I'm really talk about basking in your femininity, how the right partnership, you'll realize that you were never basking in your femininity. Oh my gosh. I can't wait. It's going to be high. And listen, I'm going to give y'all the real tea. I'm not going to hold back on you.
We had had a conversation about that. We had a real conversation, and I had to tell her exactly how I felt on some Big Brother stuff. I had to tell her how I felt.
And he did. And it's important that what I learned, even just from this small time, from this small little tidbit he just added, what I learned even in that is that when you have a true friend that you have learned to love and accept in your life as a brother, they can love you where you are, support you where you are, and you never even know that they have a whole different thought process, but they realize your life is your life. They love you, and they're going to be by your side every step of the way. But as soon as you see the light, it's at that time. There's a time and place for everything that they can really share, their perspective. But what I really appreciate is John supporting and knowing how to play his part in that time. And then when the time came for him to really share, he did that. And that's what real friends do. They will tell you if you ask, but I never asked. Let's be clear.
Right.
I
And
never asked.
there was some, we had to get, and so some of it was like a gut feeling and some opinions, and they turned out to be spot on, but it was just really a conversation about the esteem that I hold Sierra in, and how I didn't feel like her relationship was matching her personal effervescence. I felt like her relationship was a drain, and it had all the outward things going on. And so that's where the pause was, because I'm like, well, if they're doing all the outward things, maybe there's something happening on the inside that I'm not privy to, but it don't pass the eye test for me. You know what I'm saying? So then when we were able to have a real conversation, and I just talked about the gut feeling that I had of what I was seeing, and then she was able to tell me what she was going through. Now we know that we ain't gonna never let it get to that point, because I'm gonna be knowing what's going on the inside with respect, not too much now, because I respect my brother Gary, but whenever it ain't right, see, he gets the salute. Now that feels right. You know what I'm saying? But if it go off, I'm gonna be like, hey, we might need to adjust this, and that. And that's friendship, because let's not put this out here like Sierra don't be on my damn head. She be on my head, man. Listen, and she is not, well, I was just thinking that maybe she'd be like, hey, I don't know what's
Listen, I got to make sure you understand, what I'm saying. But, more importantly, I just want my people to be happy. I want my friends, my family. I want everyone to be happy that's around me. And, if I see something, and you ask me, or even if you don't ask, if I see something, I'm probably going to tell you. And, what you do with that is what you do with it. But there's a time and place for everything. So I'm really excited to hop into relationship series. It's down the road. But first thing we're going to tackle is this authentic friendship. I think that's a great way to end the year, is to really prepare yourself, prepare your life, and prepare your mind for what an authentic friendship, authentic connection should look like. Assess your circle. Who do you need to leave in 2023? Because don't bring no baggage that don't, you always kind of question about this one friend. I know sometimes I wonder, I'm going to stop you right there. If you even wondering, because I don't wonder about my real friend.
You can hear.
There you go.
So if you're wondering, you might need to check on it.
Yeah, so we're excited, guys. I want to make sure that you guys hop into our Gmail. So our Gmail is anythingbutthat2023@gmail.com. Make sure you guys share with us, right? So we have a little lineup of things that we want to share going into Q4 and top of Q1. But we also want to know, what is it that you guys want to hear about? What do you want to talk about? We want to share what the people want to hear. Our perspective, of course, right? So we're excited. Be sure that you guys drop it there. Make sure you're following us on Instagram at anything but that. So I'm sure my brother's going to plug it in here on the podcast for you guys to see. We also have a Facebook page, so be sure you're following us. So we have not really pushed our pages that much because we're trying to be a little hush-hush about it, and we got to a busy spell. So this is really long overdue, so sorry for the wait, but we are here now. Super excited. So be sure that you guys are sharing either in our IG, Messenger, or Gmail. If you have some topics top of mind, we would love to hear from it. We'll never reveal who suggested a topic. So if you want to have a question, or you want us to answer a hot topic or a Q&A live, it's going to be totally anonymous. So don't worry about that.
Never worry. Unless you come out and say, hey, I want my name attached to this, then we may honor that request.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But we just want to give you guys a little teaser and hop in here and let you guys know what's happening. We're coming. We appreciate the people that have already followed us without us even kind of sharing it. So that's kind of fly. So now that we're out of here a little bit, gave you guys just a small opener. I want you guys to be sure you go out and follow. John, close us out, sir.
Well, I'll close out like this. Rock with anything but that. No, let me stop. I'm about to say something crazy. Hey, listen, we appreciate y'all. Let's get this thing going, the movement, man. Shout out to all of our peers out here doing great things. Shout out to our city. Shout out to all of y'all. But, welcome to the jungle. We hope you make it through the night.
We hope you make it. Because I'm telling you.
Yeah, we are here.
If you don't want to hear the truth, don't come in here. This ain't the place. I'm going to tell you that right now. This is not the place.
Right now.
We appreciate you guys. Peace.
All right.
Well, I don't sell ass, so I don't do that. I don't do that. But anything else?